In the United Kingdom, the Prime Minister is launching it. Keep in mind that digital IDs are both a necessary and undesirable component of the global blockchain. The responses and current events will be discussed. Lord Belgrave has also penned a community post regarding digital IDs and the XRP'S' role in facilitating their use. What is really happening? We may discuss it now. Together, we can overcome this, and I will tell you what I truly believe about everything very well. According to Lord Belgrave, all national identification systems will eventually merge to create a one planet. The sole impartial technology that regulators have faith in, the XRP ledger, they will be secretly bound to it behind non-disclosure agreements, notwithstanding its decentralized nature. Here we have Stalmer discussing the future of digital identification in the UK. Checks out. Because of this, I'm happy to announce that a new free digital ID will be required of all job seekers by the conclusion of this parliament. I want to express that. You can't get a job in the UK without a digital ID. Truly, it's that simple because we are decent, reasonable, and impartial individuals. They want us to handle the issues they observe in their world. The reality is that addressing the root causes of our problems is essential if we ever hope to find solutions. We must address the root causes of poverty and violence if we are to make progress. You are unable to have a job in the UK without a digital ID. To set the scene, the government of the United Kingdom has acknowledged that the newly proposed digital ID system, which will be mandatory for all employees, has advantages and disadvantages, authorities and naysayers. The benefits in this situation would include simplified service access. The digital ID will allow citizens and legal residents to swiftly prove their identity when utilizing both public and private services. I believe I was conversing with someone residing in the United Kingdom, I see. To this day, they remain one of my most beloved individuals. In addition, he informed me that everyone in the UK already has a digital number or similar thing that they use for things like their salary or when they go to the hospital. This is the number that you already own. With that said, is this a unique number or is it identical to the latter? The outcome of it would likewise be intriguing to observe. Things like opening a bank account, applying for a driver's license, renting a property, or receiving government aid are mentioned. Everything will be covered by this. You will be completely helpless without this digital idea. It appears to be about enhancing security. According to official statements, the primary objective is to make it more difficult for individuals to engage in illicit employment who are not legally allowed to be in the nation in search of employment. Many nations frown upon the theft of jobs and other forms of economic crime. And this is why they're releasing all this information, isn't it? We can put an end to this illicit activity if we mandate that everyone use this digital ID. Assuming you look closely enough, you might be able to discern that this was inevitable. How they would motivate individuals to utilize the new resources was always a mystery to us. Great, I'll give it to you now. Their goal is to transform you into the I'm about to force you to do it. Economic and social inclusion advocates argue that digital IDs can boost the economy by streamlining the process of applying for jobs, changing personal information, and using public services. Sure, that might work out well. Having identification on you at all times is not necessary. You won't need to keep this on you at all times, unlike traditional IDs. It's obvious they have a complete profile of you. In exchange for your name, DB, or phone number, they would use that information to find you. Since I can identify several negative aspects, let's address them now. As you listen from the comfort of your own home, I know you're thinking, oh my God, while dwelling on your own problems. Leave a comment with your thoughts on this. None the less. Below are a few of the negative things that Lexi considered. Confidentiality and the danger of being observed. The creation of a computerized national ID database has its detractors who worry about the potential misuse or hacking of individuals' personal information by the government. More profiling and surveillance is something that human rights organizations are worried about. Is it possible for malicious users to access all of these users' data? Will they harm others with such information if that's the case? If the government determines they require all of that data, what would happen next? That could end up being bad, using technological means. Many are concerned that some demographics, such as the elderly, the economically disadvantaged, and those without access to computers may have problems or be unable to join at all. So, not everyone possesses a mobile device. Sure, some people are linked. Not everyone is interested in dealing with this. Some are simply enjoying their retirement. If some individuals do not choose to participate, what will happen to them? A large number of people will likely decline to participate. We will discuss that at a later time. More prejudice toward immigrants, racial minorities, and anyone else the system incorrectly identifies as one of the hazards that have come to light, along with the likelihood of unfair treatment or amnesty. There's another major concern about it: liberties and concerns of the general public. Everyone is strongly opposed to carrying identification cards in the UK due to cultural and historical reasons. Many are concerned that this will drastically alter the relationship between the state and its inhabitants. Sure, I'll show you the flip side now. Someone I know in the UK has informed me that Nigel Farage is a strong contender to succeed David Cameron as Prime Minister. Regarding digital IDs, let's listen to the opposing viewpoint. We need digital ID, says the country's leader. We will prevent anybody from entering this country illegally in that way. Please examine it. Identification cards and checks are very stringent in Germany. There has been no change in Germany, and there will be no change in this country either. Only by utilizing digital ID will individuals be able to be governed, restricted in their actions, and judged guilty. Moreover, didn't we witness it all during the pandemic, when proving vaccination was necessary for moving other activities? Was the propagation of the COVID-19 virus halted as a result? Got it done. The only thing that happened was that other individuals had to pay more and deal with greater hassle. Criminals, private companies, and other states will exploit hacked massive government data banks for evil, which is another thing that worries me. Apart from keeping tabs on our whereabouts activities and financial dealings, I fail to perceive any justification for the government to possess digital IDs. Additionally, here at Reform, we strongly disagree with it. Excuse me, but this is likely to spark a heated debate. In the United Kingdom, 1 million individuals have signed a petition opposing digital IDs. We are currently moving at a breakneck pace. Keep an eye on this. If it occurs and you may have some control over your future right now, whether you're in the UK or someplace else. However, your voice will go unheard if you remain silent. At last, it's here. Brad Garlingus's forecast to the community. Here is a message from Stellar Rippler. End of story. Stellar New 7 is the handle to follow if you're interested in Stellar Rippler. I appreciate them informing me of what Brad Garlinghouse had predicted. We were informed directly by Brad Garlinghouse that the government might attempt to assume our identities. Having a valid form of identification is now mandatory in the United Kingdom. Brad grasped what? To what extent was Brad's concealment effective? Here, let me explain. Britain has showcased its smart ID system, Brickard. Every adult will be required to provide documentation of their eligibility to work, rent, or utilize services. This is being marketed as a security measure. However, the power dynamic has always been at the heart of digital concepts. History demonstrates that the moment the state obtains your identification, they acquire authority over your monetary resources, employment, residence, medical treatment, and even your identification card. All it took to land adults and teenagers in Keir Starmer's prison was a pro-UK tweet. In the digital jail, the first block that can be used to create code in order to escape is DD. The government already has your ID, In order to obtain your social security number, driver's license, and similar documents, you are required to physically visit their office. Brad Garlinghouse is here, and he brought up the subject. Can you tell me who owns the rights to your likeness and name? End of story. Regrettably, it's nobody but myself. I don't blame you. It is intriguing, though, that your name is the government. Having the proper identification documents, a passport, a birth certificate, a driver's license, etc., is essential for verifying your identity. The nation makes a difference. Name and address are in the possession of the government. I know that not everyone will share my opinion, but I believe that to be true. Ripple has made an effort to be practical. If I want to establish a company and see the XRP environment thrive, I might have to compromise on some of my philosophical beliefs. At times, it's necessary to simply be reasonable regarding it. This entire planet, digital and the XRP system, appear to be quite active, and while I enjoy the concept of using blockchains for identity, I must admit that this appears to have been ongoing for some time. That's been covering extensively in our discussions. You may be asking how Ripple is going to factor into this whole thing. The clues that eluded us all. Ripple has discussed certificates, deep freeze, and lack of background knowledge arguments in simple English. Without revealing any personal information, you can display your identity or the things you are authorized to do.